Okay. Well, welcome to Getting Organised for 2022. As you're aware, we've had a couple of shocking years, so I think this is a great time to start preparing for a bigger and better year next year. Then that way we can all have something to look forward to and, of course, work towards. Okay, it's not letting me share. Okay, how to make the most out of our session. Basically remove all distractions. At this point, this is your time and your time alone. Welcome, Sophie. We've just started. So if you'd like to switch your camera off, because we're recording the webinar, please do so. If you want to stay live, you're very welcome to as well. Thank you for joining us. How to make the most out of this session. Please remove any distractions. Silence the phones. You've dedicated your hour to yourself. Make sure that it's your time and your time alone. Be you. Feel free to speak in this safe space. There's no judgments here. You're all welcome to speak up, share in this environment. Share your thoughts, and maybe whatever you share may be helping some others on the call, and take down as many notes as possible. And if you happen to not want to take notes and just want to participate and listen in, you will get a copy of this recording tomorrow. I hope the lovely assistants send it out to you in an email so that you can watch it back and prepare for 2022. Who am I? Well, I'm Ange. Pretty simple, plain Jane. Girl that grew up in Marrickville. I'm a WHS consultant. I'm a coach, mentor, a trainer, and a speaker. My mission, only simple. I need to inspire one person on a daily basis to do better in their life and to leave a legacy of helping people overcome their hurdles. If I can put a smile on someone's face or hear that they've improved their life or changed something because of me, then my job's done. So that's who I am in a little nutshell. Today's topics: setting some standards, looking at limiting beliefs and what's holding you back, some goal setting and creating a vision board if you don't already have one, or maybe it's time to change it up a little bit. Set some SMART goals. We'll go through some steps for creating vision board that works. We'll do some identity exercises so we can discover what you really want. There will be a free template that you can actually take on board throughout the presentation. And we've also got an event update for anybody who's interested in stepping into the arena for 2022. Now, question, have you thought about what you're going to get organised for 2022? If you have, please drop it in the chat box. I would love to see what you're working on or what you'd like to get started. I've put a lot of thought into 2022. I've been working with a team of coaches for the last couple of months. I've decided that I'm going to ramp up my speaking career next year. I've decided that I need to step into the gym, which is somewhere I was for a little bit before, and then I've come back out of the gym due to an injury, but I'm now ready to get back into the arena. So I was there this afternoon, actually, so I've already started the process for moving into 2022, much healthier, much happier, and probably much stronger. Yay for the gym. That monthly tip for my clients. Great. My whole business. Excellent. Building course material for 2022. Excellent. Love it. I'll just say hello to our newbies who've just come on board. Hello, Ange. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Emma. Welcome to the webinar. If you'd like to we're currently recording this so we can share it. So if you would like to take your cameras off, you can take them off. If you want to stay live, you can. But just let it be said that this will be recorded. This is currently being recorded and we will be sharing. Now, I just asked the question of, have you thought about what you're going to get organised for 2022? I've got a couple of answers. More advertising, otherwise, well, at present, okay. Move into a new place, get motivated to go to the gym, get stronger mentally, build new clientele and referral partners. Excellent. Newsletters and university marketing and networking. Beautiful. Fantastic. Well, sounds like everybody's got a bit of planning to do and strategizing. Great. Thank you for sharing. So what steps do you need to take? Have you thought about what you need to do? If you have, that's great. Write it down. If you haven't, maybe time to brainstorm. Do we need to get some help from outside? Do we need some people to brainstorm? Like I love hanging out with certain people when I get stuck. I normally call a meeting and say, can I jump on a call with a few friends and we drop some ideas, and then all of a sudden we're off and running again? Is it the brainstorming session? Do you need to talk to a coach? Do you need to hire someone? Or do you need to outsource? That's my favorite word at the moment. Outsource what I can't do. Outsource. I might stop the recording for a minute and ask some questions. Mario, can you please put a stop on the recording? In your recording? Excellent. So first things first, how about we set some standards? Now, standards is one of my favorite topics to talk about because we should have them, whether they're personal, whether it's your grooming, your presentation, how do you present, whether it's professional for Zoom meetings, and basically, how do you show up? Now, personal standard of mine is I will never, ever walk out of the house without lipstick and eyeshadow. Standard. They're my bare essentials. I will not, even if I'm going to the supermarket, if I'm going to the gym, you will always see me with lipstick. Something I've set a standard years ago, and since then, I maintain it. How do I present? The way I expect to be presented. When I go onto a Zoom, I expect to be respectable, classy, elegant, simple. But definitely not looking shabby, not looking worn, not looking disheveled, or the lovely Zoom meetings, even though we're in Zoom, I'm always wearing shoes, always got gear on. I never turn up because I've seen a few Zooms where they've got the business shirt on and the shorts underneath. But in my case, I prefer to present elegant, simple, classic, presentable. So whether it's professional or personal, I'll make sure that I turn up the way I want to be turned up to. How do you show up? Now, I know there are days when we feel like we don't want to turn up properly. We don't want to be there. There are days when I've got to run networking events in the morning and I'm feeling like it's 5:30 in the morning, the alarm clock goes off and I'm like, I'm not feeling it today. However, I'm representing or I'm about to present and I always show up. How do you show up? Is it something? Sounds familiar? Yep. How do you show up? Is it something that you need to work on? Is there an area of personal grooming? Like I have some friends who my girlfriends know if we go out for dinner, there is a dinner date includes that we must have. Just excuse me while I close my doors. Let's come back into the office. But if I am going out to meet the girls for dinner or for lunch, I always say, make sure you turn up with lipstick. And they're like, but I'm having lunch with you. And I said, I don't care. Put your face on and we're having lunch together. And I want to see your smiling face and I want to see lipstick. So if I'm going to see one of my besties and I've got a couple of guys that I hang out with, and I always say, have you shaved today? And he goes, why? I go, because we're having lunch or we're going out for dinner. And he goes, do I have to do that? And I go, yep. So I'm always championing my mates that, I don't turn up looking hairy and, unshaved. So you shouldn't be doing the same to me. Is anybody laughing at the moment? Can I hear a few giggles in the background? So is there a personal standard or a professional standard that you need to implement? Love to see your comments in the chat box. Feel free to share. Now, if you're getting stretched or pushed out of your comfort zone, good, because that's what happens when you get on a workshop. That's why you're here. If it's something you need to work on, let us know so we can help you, because we're all here for the same reason. We all want to set 2022 off to a great start. And of course, after this webinar, I'll be championing or checking in on you next month after Christmas, of course. But yeah, you'll be all free to check in and let me know how you progressed after this webinar this evening. I just need to be more awake, literally long hours. I feel like today I made myself put makeup on together. Nice work, Anna. Yeah, Wendy, some days at the moment I'm feeling it too. It's the end of the year and we've been running around. I've been running around like crazy this year. My 2021 has just blown out of proportion. So, I'm just trying to keep up, as they say. Real estate mode, dress up, however, sometimes like the natural look, especially when I'm exercising. And that's fine with that. If that's your personal standard, so be it. Make sure your gym gear looks great. Thanks for sharing. Welcome, Carmel. Nice to have you on board. We are currently.
Hello, Ange.
How are you, Carmel?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you. I'm so sorry I'm late.
That's okay. That's fine. It is recorded at the moment, so if you'd like to camera off, you can. If you want to leave your camera on, by all means, you're very welcome to, because we've promised a few people we will be sharing. Also, if you'd like to make comments, drop them in the box. If anybody has any comments to make, I always stop the sharing. I'll stop the recording so we can make some shares. Welcome, Kathy. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so some standards. Has anybody got any standard? Always turn up. Okay, just maybe a bit more organized along the way. Laugh out loud, honey. Joggers and back into real shoes. Absolutely. 2022, we are going partying and we will not be wearing sneakers. Mars? Love it. Excellent. All right, let's continue.
Guilty.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, I have to share. I will share. I actually went out on the weekend. I was invited to a gala event last minute, mind you. So I had no time to get highly organized. It was pretty much within 24 hours. I haven't worn 7 inches in months. I've just recovered from a knee injury. So I can tell you it was a very painful evening. Did I look good? Yeah. Did I feel fantastic? Yes. Have I not worn heels that height for months? Absolutely. But I did it. Got home. Of course, when I got home to my driveway, I parked the car. I got down the driveway. I was like, barefoot now. Mum goes, I go, well, there's nobody here, Mum. It's just you and me in the driveway. So that's it. But hey, it's been a long time since we've actually been allowed out and tried to look presentable for anything. So start at home, start at work, start working from home. Slowly and surely we'll win the race. Thanks for sharing. Okay, limiting beliefs. Let's have a look at the stories that you've been told, that you can't do this and you can't do that. Or as I keep getting told sometimes, oh, you're never going to make it. I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. Things that you've put into your head. In the beginning of my coaching business, I used to think no one's going to pay me. Who's going to pay for me to scream at them to do safety? Well, you'd be surprised. Negative self-talk. Sometimes when I'm studying something, I go, oh, I can do that. Or if I sit in the back of a room of Tony Robbins or one of my bigger mentors, I go, man, I can do that. And then when it comes the time for me to do it, all the negative self-talk starts. Has anybody got any limiting beliefs that they'd like to share? If you do, let me know. Either drop it in the chat box, or maybe I'll stop the recording so we can have a bit of a chat. Do I have any shares?
Yeah. Me.
Miss Murray, and continue. Welcome, Norman, and welcome, David. Thanks for joining us. We are currently recording, so we'll leave our cameras off. And once we're in the position to share, we'll stop the recording so that the participants on this call get the most value for the time they've been here. Let's continue. 3 reasons that are keeping you from getting organized. I'm too old to work out on my goals. Give up too soon, or I'm not committed to the process. And if it's none of these 3, please feel free to drop it in the chat box so I can see what's going on. In my case, like I said to the trainer today, I actually went to the gym today with a new trainer and I said to him, mate, how old are you? And he said, 27. I said, well, I'm 49. So just handle with care because I'm a little bit fragile. Well, he said to me at the end of the session, you've got more guts than a lot of people I've trained today. And I was like, wow. But my theory was, I'm too old to be doing this gym business. Mind you, everybody in the gym was size 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, maybe pushing a size 8. But as soon as he encouraged me, I was there to dominate. I wasn't mucking around. So I'm too old to work on my goals. Some people will say I'm too old for career change. Some people, and I was one of them, at 47, when I stepped out of my 13-year career with a company that I was National Safety, Quality Assurance and Environmental Manager, had a great job, ran around the countryside, got paid well to sit there and do that. But when I walked away, I was like, oh, wow, what have I done? And the limiting beliefs were, could I be? And then, of course, anybody can resonate with this. When you chuck in your salary and you go home, the parents find out, being in a European family, I can tell you what I heard. Are you sure about that? You got mortgage repayments, you got bills to pay. And I was like, yep. And that's why I've got to work faster so I can be successful. Give up too soon. Any new business operator or anybody starting a business or anybody in business, there are some times when it just gets too much. Or sometimes we keep trying and trying and trying, and we're not there. We haven't achieved what we want to achieve, and we give up. Or sometimes it's just too hard, not committed to the process. I want to do it, but there's only so much overwhelm. There's too many things going on. Then we give up. Or so, we'll start tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow. And tomorrow, of course, never gets here. Shiny star syndrome. Yeah. Don't have the time for me. Okay. Overwhelmed at times. Great. Too many goals. I feel like I don't need another list of things that I haven't done yet. Great. Fear of success. Okay. However, have we ever thought of what it could look like on the other side of all these excuses? Have we ever thought that if we did one task at a time, we might be able to achieve something? We ever thought of checking in with a few people around us, your support crew, your vibe, your tribe, and being champion to get things done? I always, I tell my harshest critics, which is my sister-in-law, my best friend, if I'm about to do something, I let them know, because if I start slipping, they're like, remember what you said you were going to do? And I'm like, yeah. So you now need to keep moving forward. You can't give up now. You can't. You've done so much. Excellent, Ian. I'm glad you're here. So 3 reasons that are keeping you from getting organized. Is there a reason that you haven't, that resonates with you that is not on this board? Something else entirely? Yeah, I understand, Angela. I had a lot of sabotage whilst I remember, and I'll share this with and some people actually know this comment, but I remember my ex-husband saying to me at the time, we were married, and he goes, no one's going to pay you to coach for you to be coached by them. And I held on to that for quite a bit of time. And now I'm like, every year when I finish the end of the year and I look at the goals and I look at what I've achieved and how much I've done in the year, and I measure the cost factors of what I've spent to enhance myself, my studies, and move forward, I think back and I go, yep, you know what? Your comment just drove me even harder. I was planning, I've never planned to be self-employed, and I never planned to be successful. I just planned to do the work hard so that I would thrive instead of fail, so that if he ever looked this way ever again, he'd see that I was a success story. I'm too old to work out my goals. Now, entrepreneurs aren't the only people that are setting goals. Your average everyday person sets goals. You aren't too old to set them. Now, goals will force you to push yourself. They can generate breakthroughs, and they can be inspiring and sometimes fun. So you're never too old to start working on something, whether it's your health, your career, your finances. Just have to begin. Set another goal or dream to make having your dream. Give up too soon. Never give up on your goals. Life can go from nothing to amazing real quick, but only if you keep going. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. I've been in business just over 2 years, 2.5 years. Thanks for sharing, Emma. We'll have to bring that list down a little bit so we can target some stuff and get you moving forward. Giving up too soon. Make your system simple and easy enough to be sustainable. Get a buddy. Make yourself accountable, then follow through with them. Strategize with a buddy to keep you accountable. So if someone's checking in with you, you've got no choice but to do things. Write down and measure your progress. And of course, reward yourself when you achieve the goal. Now, I didn't bring my diary down, which was something I should have brought along today, because I bought a diary last year. It was an A4 size diary. It was, it was a week to a page. And I usually make that a visual diary where I stick pictures of what I want to achieve. It's like a vision board, but it's my own journal. So I put in at the beginning of every week, I'll put in some pictures to keep me focused. This year I bought a bigger one because last year just ran out of pages. Every time I did pointing or journaling or thoughts and feelings or anything that I needed to write down, I seem to have run out of paper. So this year I bought a bigger one, and I'm about to start setting it up, which I'll show you some of my stuff for next year in a minute. But ideally, I should have brought the book down so you could see what it looks like. And I call it my visual journal or diary because I like to write things down, especially if I'm upset or angry, or if someone pisses me off, because, like people do sometimes, or if I let them get to me, I have to debunk when I get home. I sit down in my safe space and I always jot down things that happened to me that week, or what triggers me or what upset me. So, but I didn't bring my diary down. My apologies. I will maybe take a photo and drop it into my Facebook pages once I've completed the new one for this year, for next year. Procrastination led by fear of perfection and causing you to fall behind in your job, which causes you to be overwhelmed. Yes. Procrastination, a word that I used to use quite a bit. Now I've changed it to get shit done. It's that simple. It's time to turn things around. We can sit there and look at everything twice, 3 times, or look at the to-do list, and I've got one too. I actually have a planner. I've got several planners. I've got several things I need to do. I've got assignments that are due, but hey, I write them down, I tick off one at a time, and I get things done. What are you doing to keep moving forward? Are you committed to the process? Some people, they're not. Big results are possible if you're committed to the process of setting your goals and following through. Gain clarity of your end result. What do you want to achieve? If you sit at your desk on a Monday morning, you want to know what you're going to achieve this week. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. My 2 days are never the same. However, I do write down what I need to get done for the week as a bare minimum, and then anything else is a bonus. You'll create new habits. You prioritize what's important. Satisfaction once you see some progress and achieve your goal. Everything will fall into place. You just got to be patient and trust the process. Like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, especially in business. Anybody got anything they'd like to share? If you do, let me know so I can stop the recording. Okay, we'll keep moving. Setting some SMART goals. We'll get to visualizing in a minute. Ian, we'll come to that shortly. Setting some SMART goals, often used to assist you in setting goals, helps you focus on something specific, something measurable, something attainable, something realistic and time-bound. Now, I'll use my stuff. For example, I would like to launch a speaking career next year. I actually have a speaking career in the Greek community, but I don't have it in the English world out there. The Aussies don't know who I am yet, but I'm determined that 2022 is going to be the year of public talks, public speaking. And my whole focus this year is getting speaking gigs. So my specific SMART goal is public speaking, emceeing events, anything to do with a microphone, because I'm very passionate about being on stage. Measurable. 2 gigs a month. Attainable. Something that I can actually see happening within my time schedule. Is it realistic? Absolutely. I'd love to say I'll have a wedding every Saturday night, but hey, that means I then don't have a social life. Time bound. I'm going to focus the next 4 weeks through Christmas on a campaign and probably the first 30 days of January. So I've got about 6 or 7 weeks to get this happening. And I stated that intention last week when I started creating my new vision board, because I've got a vision board at home and I've also got one in the office. But my vision board this year said office, confidence, getting healthy, and moving forward and surviving COVID, because as you know, we had COVID lockdowns and closures. Next year, it's all about public speaking and presentations. Trust and believe in a goal is a big thing that is often misunderstood and misjudged. Absolutely. Use a simple journal. It helps me every day. Thanks for sharing, guys. So your goal. Keep the goal simple and focused. Be specific with what you want to achieve. If it's a savings plan, write down what you're willing to put away weekly. If it's a new career, let's have a look at what you want to do with your career for 2022. Measurable. Make sure the achievement of your goal is measurable. Ask yourself the question, how will you know that you've achieved this goal? In my case, when they start asking me to present or turn up to events, I'll know that I'm moving in the right direction. Is your goal attainable? It must be appealing. If it's not something you want to do, you won't do it. Because this is not just for the short term. This is probably going to be something for long term. State your goal as if you've already achieved it, with the date of successful achievement of the goal. Be realistic. Your goal needs to be achievable. I can't say I want to lose weight in 3 months. My goal plan is to get a team behind me and lose at least 7 to 10 kilos a month would be fantastic. That's achievable because I've got a team behind me. When I've got to turn up to the gym 3 times a week and I've got to eat healthy and I've got coaches behind me to do both, then surely I should be able to achieve some form of results. I won't say that I want to lose my whole weight over the next 3-month period, but I do want to get back to where I was at within 12 months. Time bound, state it as if it's done. You have to know when you will achieve it. Now, speaking career, within 12 months, I'd like to have a diary that's booked out with speaking gigs. Love to be keynote speaking. Actually, I look forward to receiving a nice fat paycheck for giving a public keynote speak. Any questions? Any shares? Has anybody got a goal that they would like to state in the group or drop in the group? Or does anybody have any questions around a goal? We can stop the recording so you can share if you like. Let me know how you want to proceed.
Yeah.
Marielle, can you stop? Can you resume the recording? Thank you. So why should you set goals? Use a vision board or a diary, as I do, or journal to get organized. First things first, you need to be clear about what you want to achieve and why you want it. To track your short and long-term goals, if you've got a list, you cross off everything you achieve. You could be saving for the dream car or the dream home. To help you unlock your full potential. It can help you to stay more focused. But overall, it's to get you the results and achieve what you set out to do in the beginning. Because once you state the intention and you start off, you keep moving till you get it. Food for thought. If you don't have your goals written down, your chances of it happening is reduced drastically because it's a principle of success. Steve Harvey. He's the man who, him alongside Steve Covey, which are the 7 habits of highly successful people. Stephen Covey actually said, start with the end in mind. It's a rule. It's one of those life rules that I live by. When I'm planning something, I want to know what it's going to look like at the end. Any shares? Any comments? Okay, we'll keep moving. So what's a vision board? If you haven't done one before, it's a collection of pictures, words and phrases that are designed to inspire you. Your vision board needs to include anything that inspires you or makes you happy. Wendy, you get a copy of this recording too, buddy, but in case you missed it in the beginning, you can always go back over the recording and make sure you get things done. So you'll be able to work at your own pace, pause it, and as well as a copy of the slides so that you can keep going through the next 30 days or less than, because we've only got like 16, 17 days of the year to go. And then we kick into 2022. Vision boards. must-have things you want to achieve on them. Like I said, whatever makes you happy. If it doesn't make you happy, don't put it on the board. You don't want to do it. If it's inspiring you want to travel, so be it. I'm in the process, like I said, I've got a couple of vision boards. I've also got a vision diary. I've decided after being coached by about 3 different people this last week, out of a group of coaches that I hang out with at the moment, I want my future to look with like flexibility and freedom. I want travel and adventures, and I want worldwide domination. And the writing is about to go on the boards. In the diary, on my work board, because I've got one in the office, so I don't lose sight of the bigger picture, because, you know, sometimes work can be so stressful that you just, like last week we had an incident and I was ready to pack it in. I got home, I said, oh, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. I really don't want to do this anymore. And then today, Monday morning, and it all starts all over again, and I've had to stay focused all weekend because this is my business. What do you want to do for 2022? Are you going to set some goals on a vision board that can take 3, 6 or 12 months to put into place? Or do you want to go further? Now, I always say this, I don't plan several years ahead because I had my future all mapped out and that turned to, I'll say crap for a better word, years back when I separated from my husband. But hey, I do map out 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 12 months max. Because as far as I'm concerned, I want to hit the goal halfway to the century at 50, and then I'll think about the rest of it afterwards. And let's face it, some people didn't make it this far. So goal setting, powerful process for thinking about your ideal day or your future, and for motivating yourself to turn your vision of this future into your reality. Now, if you don't like what you're doing every day for work, on the change. Only you can make that change. If you'd like to take on more clients, it's up to you to do the work. So time to set a goal. Like I said, it can be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year. If you're daring enough, go harder. Yeah, I want to do worldwide domination. Everybody else has got it. Why can't I have it? Visualization. See it, feel it, believe it. Listen to your own voice, your soul, because too many people listen to the noise of the world instead of themselves. Deep down inside, you know what you want. Let no one decide that for you. Could be as simple as I will receive 3 pieces of great news this week, or 3 months from now, I will be. I claim it. I manifest it because I keep talking about it hard enough that I drive everybody mad about my dreams or my goals, and I believe it. So what do you see, or what do you feel, or what do you believe as a simple goal that you can set into practice for the next 30, 60, or 90 days? Now, you don't have to share if you don't want to. You can drop it in the box if you like. Ideally, write it down so that you've got something to work towards. Now, if you haven't created, this was one of my boards last year, 2021 goals, the beginning. It has changed since then, but hey, it's as real as it's going to get. What you need, corkboard or piece of cardboard. Or I have a beautiful little board in my office. It was actually, I bought it for a picture frame and then realized that it wasn't that. So I had to turn it into something because I wasn't taking it back to Kmart. So I turned it into a vision board for the office. Now this one's different to the one at home. The one at home's got pins in it and some other stuff as well. Whereas in this case, got some pegs, cut out what I needed to achieve or wanted to achieve, and created a vision board for the office. I figured it was nicer to look at a vision board than a white wall or a cream wall in my office. So that's an example of $15 board at Kmart. Works well. The reason why it works well, you can change it. With the pegs, can change it. and I'm about to. So what do you need? Cut out reminders and inspirational quotes, cut out pictures. Google is your best friend. Google Images is fantastic. In my downtime or when my head needs a little bit of recharge, I head to Google Images, I post in the word, and I get my pictures. Now I'm currently, like I said, working on a couple of boards. So here's my bits and pieces. So let me just tell you that, whatever you're doing, I do, or I practice what I preach. I'm not telling you to do something if I don't do it myself. So I've got my pictures ready to go because I believe that next year I will be in front of crowds. Now, I may not be in front of 13,000 people like Tony Robbins, but I aim to have workshops of 6 in a small group, 100 people maximum, and then anything more and above that, the world's your oyster. Anybody want to share a goal that they're going to be looking at or pictures that you're going to get off the internet? You will need a printer. You'll definitely need a pair of scissors. Sometimes magazines are great for pictures too, but above all, a great mindset. Because at the end of the day, it's your work, your career, your future, your life. Have a whiteboard. Yep, works. That works too. Just put your goals on that, Maria, and it'll do the same thing. And then you put it in a place where you're going to see it. So we don't fix it, make it, stick everything on it, and then put it behind a door that we're never going to look at it again. Okay? Now, there are some celebrities who actually use vision boards. Steve Harvey's one of them. Oprah Winfrey's another. So is Ellen DeGeneres. So we're not the only people doing this stuff. Now, your well-designed vision board. Visual, something you look at daily. Feed it into the subconscious or the back of your mind. Okay. Emotional, it should make you happy. Fuel your passion to achieve it every time you look at it. Sometimes it's personal, but whatever you do should be placed in a location that gives you the maximum exposure. Strategically placed. Now that's my office at home, and the board is right on my right-hand side. It hasn't moved from there. It's still in the same spot. It has changed, though, over the 12-month period. My other board is strategically placed next to my computer screen in my office. So I don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Because there are days when you're not going to feel like working towards your goals, I can tell you. Now, before you begin, whether it's a vision board, diary, a task list, a to-do list, sit quietly and ask yourself what it is that you want. Take some time out. Put on some music. Usually works for people. Sometimes I like to burn candles around my safe space at home. If I'm going to think of anything or put my thoughts together, candles are a staple in my life. They've got to be lit up the minute I walk through the front door. Music goes on as soon as I walk in the front door. So as far as I'm concerned, they're the things I need to wind down and relax. So I'll do that when I'm trying to focus on what I want for the future. Take yourself to a time in the future. What does it look like? What is that picture? What's that task you want to set yourself or a goal that you want to achieve? And play with imagination. Now, some questions to ask yourself. These questions are specifically designed to get you back to your core. You may not like some of these questions, or like someone said once, this is confrontational, so you don't have to share. But I'd like you to answer these questions because it'll help you design your future or your vision or whatever you want to imagine from here on in. Now, this is your opportunity to follow the footsteps of Walt Disney and enter the land of imagination. The place where anything is possible, a place where you get to play and have fun. And of course, dream big. So if you were to think about your life or something you want to set or you want to fix, where would you live? Are you happy in the current location that you're living? Or is it time to move? What would your house look like? How does your day begin? What would you have for breakfast? What's the view? Are you overlooking the beach? Are you overlooking a car park? Are you overlooking the city skyline? Conversation. Are you talking to anyone? Are you living with someone? Are you phoning friends? What does the mundane stuff look like? The everyday task to task, daily routines. What would you spend the first half of your day doing? Would you be out at meetings in the morning? Would you be at the gym? Would you be walking across the beach? Would you be taking yourself to the local hangout and having coffee? Would you be taking yourself out for breakfast? Because you can. Would you be networking? Some of us know networking groups start at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Some groups I know, like the BNI, start at 6:30. Who are your friends? Have they got your back? What do you often talk about? What do you do all day? If you're working with clients, what are your clients like? Dinner plans, are you eating alone? Are you ordering light and easy on a 7-day basis so you don't have to cook? Are you going out for dinner 3 times a week? What would you do for personal fulfillment? What life purpose would you strive towards? And if you've got all that, what legacy would you leave? Like I said, I don't expect anyone to share. If you would like to, I'll stop the recording. If you'd like to drop it in the chat, you're very welcome to drop it in the chat as well. Just some questions on discussing how you plan your day, how you plan your future, how you plan your health, how you plan your career or your finances. Easily adaptable. Now, there is a free template included in this, so all you got to do is scan that and you'll get a copy of your template. It's for 30 days, 60 days, or 90-day goals if you don't already have one. And it looks like this. And it basically says the areas to improve and the reason, whether it's career, health and fitness, or finances. Action taken, date of action, and when you've completed it. Now, might be for work-related purposes in career. I lack focus, discipline, and a clear direction. Something that I was doing last week. After a stressful couple of audits, I decided that I didn't want to audit anymore, and I didn't want to be sitting in the audit behind the auditors or in front of an auditor. So it was time to gain some clarity and change direction. Areas to improve them for health and fitness: need to be fit, need to lose weight, whether it's up to 10 kilos or more than that. It could be simple as 3 or 4 kilos for some. Depends on what it is. It might just be to be stronger, get your strength back. Finances. I want to get my finances under control. I want to set up a savings plan instead of worrying about money, so I've got a rainy day fund. What kind of actions are you going to take? Are you going to get a coach to take you to the next level? Are you going to research the people who do well in this industry and find out what they do and copy? Because, if you mirror them, chances are you're going to be successful. When one of my mentors, I remember I was in a training room in Melbourne at the institute, the coaching institute, which I'm a member of, and Sharon Pearson, who's my female mentor, said, watch what people do and copy them. If they're successful in what you want to do, then you should be watching, matching, and mirroring everything that they do so that you can be successful. Actions taken. If you want to go to the gym, get your health and fitness back. Do you want to do weights? Do you want to start walking in the morning? Or is it as simple as changing your eating habits and getting rid of junk food from in your household? For finances, maybe you just need to create a budget, put something aside, or start a savings account, or get coaching around the values around money, around your values around money. Some of us I grew up in an environment where there was never enough. There was always scarcity. We went through some rough patches with Dad being unemployed and mum being the breadwinner. So it was always tough at my house. And I made a decision that when I grew up, it was never going to be tough around my place ever again. Date to action. In the next 30, 60 or 90 days, I plan to do this so I can take my career to the next level. Health and fitness. Date to take action immediately. Not going to get any easier. Got to start somewhere. Might as well start now. A lot of people will wait to start their new diet or their new health and fitness plan after the new, it'll be part of a New Year's resolution. Let me tell you, it doesn't happen. Date to action for finances, immediately and ongoing. A savings plan, a simple budget that put away every week, or every fortnight, once a month. Like I said, the template will be available to you in the presentation. It will also be sent to you tomorrow. Food for thought. If challenge yourself, it's the only path which leads to growth. Push the boundaries. Step out of your comfort zone. You never know what's on the other side. And for those of you that fear, the definition of fear, forget everything and face everything and rise, or fuck everything and run. Take whichever one you want, but make sure it's working for you. So in summary, vision boards are important tools in your successful toolbox. The cheap to make, potential value to you is immeasurable. Create a small one, put it in front of you, see what you make of it. Give yourself 30 days. Keep following the plan. Think about what you want in your life, then commit yourself 100% to take the first step of creating your vision board or your future for 2022. Believe that you deserve this. Everybody deserves happiness. Everybody deserves to have a dream. Everybody deserves to achieve their goals. See it, feel it as if you're already there. Activate the law of attraction. Focus on making your dreams a reality. Whatever you focus on, you will achieve. Now, make sure you're focusing on something positive, because sometimes a lot of us focus on negatives. Thank you. Thanks, David. A lot of people focus on the negatives. I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't do this. And it's like, sometimes I say, but what if you could? Or what does it look like if you thought about it for 30 seconds, or maybe you thought about it for 2 minutes, or just dare to dream? Now, I'd like to share an opportunity of working together in the future, and that's only in Sydney, because it is coming soon. We are back in the room. So in the future, there will be live group coaching coming up. I haven't set a date yet, but if you'd like to get into the room one-on-one, there's 6 of us maximum. There won't be any more than that, because I like to keep my groups. And the social distancing practices, of course, and all the regulations that are going on at the moment, will be small groups. We will be doing live group coaching events in the future. They will be based on a Saturday or a Sunday, so it doesn't affect your working week, and will be available to help people focus on how to release habits, create new ones, let go of stories and limiting beliefs, create vision boards, or set or achieve their targets, or whatever they set out to achieve for 2022. Thank you. Good night, Shani. It is a little bit late in New Zealand. See you, Norm. Okay. If you'd like to book in a chat, if you found this useful and want to spend some time with me, complimentary call, book in a chat. There'll be a scanning code in there for you once you receive your presentation. But at this point, I'd really like some feedback. I'm going to stop the sharing because I've done my presentation. I'll get the presentation stopped so I can call it wrap it, and then we can have some interactive sharing in the room. Miss Marielle, can you please stop the recording?